Hello, bonjour Alberta. Did you know that at least 238,000 people speak français in Alberta? And those numbers just keep on growing? Oui, oui, c'est vrai, it's true. And thanks to Shaw TV Community Access Programming, we get to reach out to everyone to let you know all about special people, places, events, and activities happening right here in this great province, in both English and en français. That's right, mes amis. We begin the first part of our program in English, and then we repeat it en français. So stay with us. Restez à l'écoute.
Welcome et bonjour to Hello Bonjour Alberta. I'm Marc Lalonde.
And I'm Anne Boiteau.
Have you heard? Cowtown Opera provides unique and entertaining performances that holler Calgary, surprising audiences with cheeky English languages interpretations of operatic classics, remarkable vocal caliber, and daring new projects. You join us today as we send out a big howdy to the very talented and brilliant Michelle Minke, artistic director and founder of Cowtown Opera, and mezzo-soprano Courtney Murias, who will tell us more about this very exciting new take on opera. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, ladies, how cheeky do you get?
I think we get quite cheeky. We recently were in the High Performance Rodeo with the One Yellow Rabbit Theatre. They just did it at the Arts Commons, where we had to write a 10-minute opera in 24 hours. And it ended up being about city council, and I ended up playing Nenshi, and it was pretty risque at times, but we're always looking for fun new projects and making them really exciting and relevant to Calgarians.
Yeah, that's our mayor, risque, definitely. Yeah, I can see that. That's great.
And so how did Cowtown Opera start? Bring us back to the beginning.
Well, I'm a born and raised Calgarian, and for about 10 years I studied throughout Europe, the Royal Academy of Music in London, as well as Italy and France and New York and Toronto. And in the meantime, I developed a real love for teaching. And I applied to a whole bunch of places to get work. I realized, to make work as a singer is very tricky. I probably have to live out of my suitcase. I don't know, I don't have very much money. I'm not with my family and friends. So I decided to move back to Calgary, and that's where I teach now at the Mount Royal Conservatory. And on moving back, I realized there just wasn't enough opportunity, and I was worried I'd turn into some crazy cat lady that would just, end up not singing and just being a teacher. And I decided, there's all this amazing local talent that we have here. What can we do to create more opportunity and make opera fun? And that's when I decided to create Cowtown Opera.
And when was that?
This is our 5th season.
It's 5th season,
yeah.
So 5 years ago. Okay, so it's well developed, and yet it's quite recent. How about you, Courtney? What's your background?
Well, I also studied music for about 10 years. I was traveling, studying, and came back to Calgary after singing in Toronto because it was my home, and I think that there's a big opportunity here to share with local people all the talent that Calgary has, and it's very nice to be home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how did you two meet? How did you come to work on this
We've known each
project?
other for a long time. The singing community is actually very small. A lot of singers kind of know about each other throughout the years. And once Cowtown Opera kind of started, I asked Courtney to come and sing with us, and now she's been a featured singer with us the majority of time. But we go way back, probably.
Yeah, I first saw her with Calgary Opera Emerging Artists, so I looked up to her as a bit of a mentor. And then when she started this company, it was huge for me to know that there's more opportunities than just one company in Calgary. So I had to audition for her, and luckily I impressed her, and now we're buddies and working together.
Okay, well, let's get back to my favorite subject, opera. Now, opera has a bit of a reputation these days as a bit of a highbrow art form, but that's not the way it was originally, is it? When opera was first developed, it was
Pop music.
Very for the people.
Very much for the people, very much a popular form of culture that was perhaps even looked down upon, I'm guessing here, by some of the higher-ups in society at that particular time. So it's almost as if it's come full cycle. You're putting it back into that mode, are you not?
That's exactly what I hope to do. You know, the fest houses were for the people. Marriage of Figaro was written for the lower class, that kind of outwitted the upper class, and really making it intimate and in their original language. And that's what we hope to do for Calgarians, is put it in an intimate environment, sing closely to somebody in our own language. And I think that's really the magic of opera, and that's what I really feel like we're bringing back.
And so I hear you're doing this in ways other than in a theater with sets, and of course you do that too.
Yes.
But in all kinds of other more modern kind of presentations. Can you talk about those a bit?
Yeah, we can be seen anywhere. We are on sea trains, in the pub, malls. We've been in nail salons, restaurants singing happy birthdays to people. We've been at little kids' birthday parties singing Frozen. That's a big hit right now.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, so we're really wanting to put opera where people wouldn't expect. I think it does two things. It really adds something to our community, and second of all, it shows people that opera singers live here. I think that's always a big surprise. They're like, whoa, you live here? Like, you know, to show them like we have immense talent in our city.
So, and you also teach.
I do, yes. I think
not just Mount Royal, but you also have your own
a private studio, as well as Chinook School of Music.
Okay.
I think for many singers, when we spend so many years being educated, that it makes sense to continue that education.
Yes.
And we also have a summer program called the Cowtown Opera Summer Academy, where we educate aspiring singers on breath and body work, anatomy, languages, and stagecraft.
And do students get to participate in some of your?
Some of them are in our choruses,
yeah,
absolutely, yeah. Some of them are in Mary Poppins next weekend, so.
So what's an example of a flash presentation that you might have done in the last little while here, and what was the reaction to it?
One of my favorite things that we've done after a couple troubleshooting moments and that kind of thing, because we were so new, we were really experimenting a lot, was that we did a pop-up opera, the Hallelujah Chorus, at all the malls in Calgary. I think we went to 4 or 5 malls, and flash mobs are kind of getting outdated and that kind of thing. And there was this woman, and our singers had started singing, and she said to me, "Oh, this isn't one of those flash mobs, is it?" And I went, "Hallelujah!" She was like, "Oh my gosh!" And she was so surprised to have me to sing that closely to her that she actually just started crying, because she was just so shocked. And I think that the power of the human voice really has the potential to touch people. And so that was one of my favorite memories of why I think it's important.
And I saw also on your website that you might be going to people's homes, that you do all kinds of different things, Instagrams, you name it, you sing it kind of thing. So what would be like, I'm sorry, Serenade kind of thing?
Well, we hope to kind of maybe mash up pop culture with opera at times, especially for the next generation of opera lovers we're hoping to hook. So maybe like, I just called to say, or I just came to say he's sorry. So that, when, the wife gets home, so she's had a big day, instead of a bouquet, maybe a song.
Him?
Men are always in trouble.
Always him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
And so happy birthdays, all kinds of different things, right? How long ahead of time do we need to book if we want you guys around?
We've done it almost, I think our quickest turnaround rate was 2 hours.
Wow.
We had Sandstone called us and said, we just got a huge promotion, we just signed a huge account, and we want to celebrate. I've got champagne, can some opera singers come over and sing a toast? And we had some opera singers working downtown, and they just walked over and sang. But usually a couple weeks or a month, we can always probably make something work. We have a wonderful company of about 25 to 30 the most talented singers in our city that we are able to call and have come into your homes and to celebrate with you.
And you do bring in the costumes and everything, do you?
We've been in gowns and cocktail wear. We wear Western sometimes. Love that touch today. Yeah, we're totally accessible and versatile.
All that kind of stuff. So for people who might be interested in getting into your troupe, Courtney, what's the experience been like for you?
Well, I mean, it's incredible, like I said, to have opportunities every month to be singing at places around Calgary, to see my city in a new light, to be on Stephen Avenue singing and events like Acumen Calgary. And so I also, throughout the year, get to see my colleagues perform in operas. So we do like 3 big shows a year, and so I sit back and watch those ones usually, and be involved throughout the year in those.
So what do you have planned for 2015?
Yes.
Well, we have next weekend actually we open a Sing-Along with Mary Poppins Sing-Along. Love to have you guys there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We really believe that, as I say, that the power of the human voice is so important, and people rarely sing in public anymore. You know, back in the day we used to sing in churches or that kind of thing, and now when we realize when we're gathering people once a year to sing in Sound of Music or Phantom of the Opera, that people are so excited to be singing as a community. So we really think that's so important. We're excited about that. And then we're putting a modern spin on Donizetti's Elixir of Love, and we're calling it Love Potion number 9. So we're going to be sitting in Calgary actually in the 1988 Olympics, so to kind of flash back into the 80s in Calgary, and so I think that it'll just be a lot of fun, a lot of Calgary references. And
what venue do you normally present this at?
Right now we're in Festival Hall in Inglewood. It's kind of a refurbished venue, which is just perfect sizes. I think 150 people, very intimate, great acoustics. So, yeah.
Great.
Mm-hmm. And I was going to ask you about the organization itself. You're non-profit, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So where do you get the funds to be able to do this?
Well, as in any arts organization, especially one that's so young, we're always just scraping by. We're always just, holding on with a string. But we receive amazing support from our community of CADA, Calgary Foundation, as well as Canada Council, Alberta Foundation for the Arts. And a lot of our community has also really support us with ticket sales and sponsorship. So we always get by somehow. But yeah, we're looking to further develop and work towards getting casinos and things like that in order to really get us to the next level.
So are you looking for volunteers as well?
Always looking for volunteers, absolutely.
So how big an organization are you now, and what would you like to be?
Yeah.
Well, we have the 3 productions every year, and we have a board of directors and amazing volunteers, probably putting in hundreds of hours a month for us. So just really passionate people about what we're doing in the city. And the volunteers that we have are maybe very small, 10 to 12, where we're looking to probably triple that, and then our singers within our community are also very supportive with our social media and that kind of thing. So we have about 25 to 30 of those. So.
And I'm assuming that you're not looking necessarily for people who are professionally trained and people that can help out in other ways.
No, people who love
too.
music and also people who have skills that we as artists don't have. I get so relieved meeting accountants and lawyers and people that have a totally different skill set than I have. So, yeah.
All right, then, Michelle, can you take us out of the English segment?
Well, I think we should. Hello, bonjour, Alberta. Well, it is the very best. But wait, we'll be right back.